easy understanding of it. So here is two questions that I've gone over in the past, and they're very similar, but the focus can be quite different. The first one is explain the role of one hormone in human behavior making use of one study. Okay, and the other one is explain one study on the role of hormones in human behavior. So very similar questions, but the focus in one is on the hormone, okay, and the other one is on the study. So for you to demonstrate that you understand what the question is asking or demanding from you, the first answer, the first sentence is very important. Like I said, very important. So in the very first sentence here, I would say one hormone that affects human behavior is adrenaline. Okay, and in this study where it's asking me to explain one study, in this question where it's asking me to explain one study, I would answer the question by saying McGaw and Cahill's conducted a research to investigate the role of adrenaline on the creation of flashbulb memories. Right? So I'm answering the question. I'm showing that I understand what the question is asking me to do. Okay? And it's interesting that I use this example, and it does tie into our current topic as well. So then you go on to defining the terms and describing the theory, okay, in the second paragraph or in the rest of that paragraph. Here in the biological approach, you did not have too many theories. Most of them were concepts, and you didn't have to describe them as much as you might have to for the theories and models in the cognitive approach. And then you go into your research. Okay, depending on what the focus is, you will have to either fully describe for this condition or for this question, you'll have to fully describe the research, and here a brief description of the research would be fine. But since it's explanations, you really do need to explain what the research suggests in relation to the theory, okay, or in relation to the question. So an explicit link for this question would be, it appears that by interacting with the amygdala, adrenaline plays a key role in the creation of emotional memories. Okay, so I'm focusing on the memory, or the hormone, okay, the one hormone. So what is its relation to human behavior? So that is my explicit link, and that is my last sentence in the essay or the response. Okay, for this question, on the other hand, I can say McGaw and Cahill, through their research, concluded that the hormone adrenaline, when released, stimulates the amygdala, which in turn plays a role in the formation of flashbulb memories. Okay, so I am making my final statement with reference to the research. So again, that shows that you are focused. So please follow these tips. It is very important, and it'll help you get good grades. This is again in preparation for IB. I know a lot of you have understood the topics that we've covered so far, and I'm quite proud of you, okay, because you have done so much work in this time, and we have been really on pace and on task for the most part. And yeah, so one possible question that could come is explain one theory of how emotion may affect one cognitive process. Again, they will not be specific to memory. Okay, don't get confused. So like I said before, the IB gives us the freedom of studying whichever cognition we want to focus on, and we are focusing on memory and thinking and decision making. So you will have to make sure that you identify which cognitive process you are trying to explain. So again, your very first sentence is where you will be able to do that. So for a question like this, one theory of how emotions affect memory is the flashbulb memory theory. Okay, so that is you answering the question in very, like, right off the bat. So again, first sentence, very important. Then you define memory, then you describe flashbulb memories in terms of formation and maintenance. And since the focus is on the theory, it has to be detailed description. Okay, then you will use one study to support the theory, describe it in basic terms of aim, procedure, and findings, and then you will fully explain the command. The command term is to explain, so you will have to explicitly link and explain the results of the study in relation to flashbulb memories. So if it was Brown and Kulik's research that you were focusing on, we know that there was a difference between the African American participants who had better, more vivid memories of the assassination of Martin Luther King, as opposed to the Caucasians who had a better or more vivid memory of the assassination of John F. Kennedy. So, what terms do we know about the formation and maintenance that can explain that? Okay, so for example, we can explain that there was personal relevance and distinctiveness for people in the African American community in relation to Martin Luther King's study, assassination, because he was a very important part of the civil rights movement, and this was important to them as opposed to the Caucasians. Okay, so you will have to explain distinctiveness, personal relevance, and how that influenced that community to better form memories about that person's assassination as opposed to John F. Kennedy's assassination. Okay, so you need to explain that, and you could further the explanation by saying that there was probably a lot of overt um, overt rehearsal in the African American community about Martin Luther King's death or assassination, and in the Caucasian community, the assassination of John F. Kennedy. Okay, so overt maintenance might also influence how these people are able to better have vivid memories of people who have been relevant to their community, as opposed to someone who was not relevant to their community. Okay, so this is how one way you could answer a question on this. Um, yeah, so again, explain command term is extensive. Please pay attention to the command terms. It really helps grading and giving you better grades. I have gone through this, so please pay attention to everything I've said. If you haven't understood, go through this video again, make notes, and make sure that you try achieving what the command term is demanding of you. Okay, I won't I I won't be necessarily available throughout class today, but if you have any questions, I will try responding as soon as possible. So don't hesitate to ask questions. If I don't respond right away, I will respond by the end of the day at the most. Okay, so all the best for the test on Friday. Again, it will be 2 questions, 2 SAQ questions, and you will have 40 to 45 minutes for it. It'll be done on Microsoft Teams. Okay, please don't be late for class. We have class right at 8 a.m. on Friday, so don't miss that, and don't be late, because that just means you will have lesser time to finish. So, and as for cheating, I trust that you won't. If you do decide to cheat, that will be more than cheating me. It will be cheating yourself, because this is to check whether you have understood and are able to answer these topics. And the truth is, in exam settings in school, you will not be able to cheat. You will not have your notes out with you. So please try doing it honestly. And again, this is just something I'm saying out of formality. I trust that you will not. Okay, and I also understand by now a lot of your writing styles, so I would know if it is your work, and if it is not. So please keep that in mind, and have a good day. Again, ask me questions if you have any. All right, bye bye.